Bro, you are so oppressed, bro. You're oppressed.
I mean, yeah, I'm oppressed by the tax system, family courts, politicians, the Federal Reserve, lawmakers.
Dude, I'm not talking about that, dude. I'm talking about slavery, dude. When my people oppressed your people, dude.
I'm talking about the oppression of everyone happening right now, and you're bringing up slavery?
Dude, the media hasn't told me to care about anything else other than slavery, dude. You black people are victims to my superior white race, dude. My job as a white ally is to make sure other white people know how much better they are than blacks, dude. This is how we're gonna help you guys out, dude.
That right there is a very excellent skit by the YouTube channel Barricade Garage, which of course we will have a link down in the description below, but it was too good not to share. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org, and in this video we will be talking about the dangerous unraveling of Twitter that of course has a lot of important ramifications, not just on your private DMs, but of course the world. We're also going to be talking about the Twitter blacklist, which Twitter will censor and blacklist you for talking about. We're also going to be talking about the possibility of this major cyber attack potentially coming from a foreign entity, and if we have time, we might be able to get into some Ghislaine Maxwell updates, as well as the continued absurdity surrounding Nick Cannon. All of that, plus a lot more on this independent media organization that is supported by you. And if you're loaded and have some money to go around, your help is greatly appreciated on wearechange.org/donate, where you could help out in many ways, whether through cryptocurrencies, physical mail, one-time donations, monthly donations, whatever it is. Your help is more crucial than ever. We even have a way where you could help without spending a single dollar. If you're going through difficult times like the majority of us are, definitely check out this option. It doesn't cost you a cent and also helps you out at the same time. But if you're loaded, well, your help is greatly appreciated and more important than ever. Now, as Twitter was mainly concerned about social justice, sending out political messages and symbols, and of course doing the ever important work of literally going through every document internally in Twitter. Yes, this is again, this is no joke here. This is from the Twitter engineering account just a few days ago that they announced that they're going to be going through every document in Twitter and changing words like grandfathered into legacy status, words like guys to folks, he, him, his as they, them. Oh yeah, this one's my favorite. Changing the word dummy value to quote placeholder value. They're doing all of this to appease absolutely emotionally unstable, insane people. And as their engineering department was working diligently on this, they've just experienced a massive cyber attack that could have had devastating implications on the entire world. Now, when you go on and see what the mainstream media is reporting about this latest massive cyber attack that just happened, of course they're running with headlines talking about how Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, Kanye West, Michael Bloomberg, Jeff Bezos, and a bunch of other blue checkmark, high-profile, very important people in our society were, quote, hacked, and sent out public messages like this from Bill Gates that read, quote, everyone is asking me to give back, and now is the time. Quote, I'm doubling all payments sent to my Bitcoin address for the next 30 minutes. You send me 1,000, I send you 2,000, and I crap you not, people actually fell for it. Yes, people sent the man who is very closely connected to Jeffrey Epstein and lies about his relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates. Yes, the same guy that literally doubled his wealth right after announcing that he's going to be donating the majority of his money to charity. Yes, this scam artist, for some reason, people actually believed this tweet and sent it Bitcoin. And how? And I just lost total faith in humanity. But yes, some people fell for this scam that was highlighted on many powerful people's Twitter accounts, including Obama's, Uber's, and again, the list goes on to who was hacked. And when you look at the amount that was generated here, it's not that significant. And when you're able to hack the accounts of former presidents, major corporations, there are conceivably a lot better ways to earn money rather than a quick Bitcoin scam that again, a few people fell for. And seeing the media just run with this narrative that this was all done just for a little bit of Bitcoin, to me it's a little bit nonsensical and misses two big important elements here. One, cyber warfare sending a large signal to the United States, and the media is totally missing the larger points when it comes to the screenshots released by these quote hackers showing that Twitter is a publisher that manipulates its platform for political gain. But just keeping on this note of the hack, when we have powerful people's accounts hacked and they sent out messages, that means that they had access to their account. Many of these accounts had two-factor authentication and still were hacked, and that's pretty terrifying because it shows you how sensitive information is absolutely vulnerable. This has shown us many dangerous implications that we should be taking very seriously. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me that in a few days, weeks, or months, or whenever the time may come, a lot of politicians, journalists, celebrities' private messages will be released to the general public. That is my own personal opinion on the events that just unfolded, but I think it's a likely one. That, of course, will have implications far beyond than just some Bitcoin. I know other media publications are making a pun about how verified users were not able to use their accounts for a small time period yesterday, but they're missing the bigger picture here, and that's also that we avoided catastrophe. This should lead to a lot of mistrust and skepticism when it comes to Twitter for more reasons than just one, as you're going to hear in this video. We have to understand here, Twitter completely lost control of its very important platform, and this will spur on a bigger conversation whether or not government should be involved in big tech monopoly speech industries like Twitter. And you should think about those implications for just a little bit, as we're going to find out more from future investigations, which of course the federal government will be involved in. Now, the few details that we are getting is that potentially this massive cyber attack happened because of a Twitter employee giving access to a person who he thought he was a friend with to their employee internal login, which was why someone from the outside was able to get internal control of Twitter. And according to the official story, which we have reason to doubt, it was an employee who was a victim of a sophisticated phishing scheme. This is according to the official story that has not yet been verified independently. The identity of the employee and perpetrators has not been released. Now, of course, Twitter's stock price dropped after this, and it looks like the company has more to hide, as we're also getting the information that allegedly the same hackers also posted screenshots of Twitter's internal dashboard, which showed that they shadow ban accounts specifically from the search and trending section of its website, which also proves a big deal and proves what many people have been saying for a very long time, is that the platform is absolutely manipulated for political gain. This is why, as some people like Mike Cernovich point out, that trends that advocate for a specific ideology or even advocating for violence for that ideology are kept up, but others going against the woke SJW principles that Twitter proudly stands behind, well, those, of course, are shadow banned, downranked, and made less visible so people don't see them. And again, it's important to note here, it's not just right-wingers affected by this, it's also a lot of anti-war, anti-establishment representative figures that are affected by this shadow banning, which deserves to be called out. Again, you would think that would be the lead story over, of course, some idiots sending $120,000 to a fake Bill Gates post. Now, if you post screenshots of this internal dashboard on Twitter, Twitter will, of course, delete your post as of the reports that we're getting in right now, which adds validity to the claim that those screenshots are in fact authentic. Another aspect here to consider is the possibility of a foreign cyber attack. As we know, tensions between China and the United States are worsening by the day, as of course Donald Trump just signed an executive order to hold China accountable for its actions against Hong Kong. An executive order which China vowed retaliation for. And as we've been saying for a very long time, the digital landscape will be where the Great War will be in part fought on. Now, cyber attacks and compromising people's data, stealing intellectual property, subverting people's aims and goals is not just something that, of course, foreign countries like China do. It's also something that historically the United States has done as well. As just yesterday as well, in the morning, Trump gave the very unaccountable, unelected, shadowy, known for its illegal activities, the CIA government agency, authorization to, quote, increase aggressive cyber attacks. Yes, just yesterday, it was revealed, according to Yahoo News, in a ruling in 2018, that Donald Trump gave the CIA authorizations to expand the scope of cyber attacks against foreign nations. And now there are two hypotheses worth considering. If you're a foreign power like China and you want to show your superiority in the digital space against the United States, why not target and tarnish one of the key institutions that we use for communications? Again, politicians no longer go to union meetings or churches. They go on Twitter. And if you want to have an effect as a foreign nation on our political discourse or even corporate world, as we've seen previously before with previous cyber attacks that have dramatically affected the stock market, what better avenue to do it than, of course, to go after China? On the other hand, the second hypothesis is that if you are the United States and you want to show people how a major corporation shouldn't have control of the majority of political discourse in this country, what better way to do it than to undermine them with this hack, which would of course call for more people to have the centralization of this entity right into the hands of the government, which potentially could have done this. That's hypothesis number 2. And then, of course, we have the layman mainstream media explanation that this was all a major, sophisticated, important cyber attack that affected the most prominent people in our society, all for just $120,000. I'm sorry, but the first two hypotheses that we're seeing as a possibility here seem a lot more likely than what the mainstream media is telling us. That is just my own personal take on it, but what do you think happened? Out of those 3 hypotheses that I just laid out to you, which one do you think is more likely? 1, a foreign nation. 2, U.S. intelligence agencies. Or 3, someone who just wanted to take all this risk for just $120,000. Regardless of which hypotheses you think is more credible, one thing that this story has shown us is how absolutely insecure and vulnerable things online are. Whether it's your DMs, passwords, communications, or whatever you do online, just be aware that this is creating a digital copy of it that could be available to anyone at any time. I should have done a VPN pitch here. Again, nothing is 100% secured ever, but you could have virtual layers that protect you somewhat. That's why I use a VPN. Hell, I'm just going to do the VPN pitch. I might as well, because I use this product. I like it a lot. Right now, my computer shows that I'm in New York City. I am not in New York City. I want to stream some stuff that I can't get from the location that I'm at right now. Well, I just use this very handy and useful tool embedded in the VPN service that I have here that makes this incredibly easy to use. I don't have an official relationship with this company. They just have a referral code. I like it. I use it. I think you will too. But still, it wouldn't protect you from the hack that just happened on Twitter, since of course that even broke two-factor authentication. So yeah, you could secure yourself with some layers, but essentially nothing is ever 100% guaranteed, and you could ask Ghislaine Maxwell that. So yeah, we already went through a lot. More updates on Ghislaine, Nickelodeon, Nick Cannon, some geopolitical foreign policy news in the upcoming videos, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.